What's going on, guys? Chandler here. So this is going to be my new segment on my YouTube channel called First Listen Review that is taken from my $5 tier full album reactions. So I react to the entire album, and then at the very end I give my overall thoughts and initial thoughts and a score on the album as a whole. So again, if you do like what you see and want to support the channel going forward, head over to patreon.com/ChandlerBurtonEntertainment. This is exclusive to the $5 tier. Again, you get a full album reaction, review, and a whole bunch of other perks as well if you guys are interested. And again, there's always a link down below in the description and in the pinned comment. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the review, and thank you all so much for watching. Wow, man. Okay, that was every album. You know, you can never listen to an album again like once. You know, so like for example, like for me, like I guess with any album, like with Electric Callboy TEKKNO, I can never listen to this album for the first time ever again in my entire life. And I kind of like look at music like that, where it's like, okay, I get one chance to listen to it here, and generally the first impression is what will usually stay with me for the rest of my life. The impression that I had on this one is, well, stick around for the first listen review, and we will talk about it. I'm actually really excited to talk about it, so let's jump right into the review. All right, my friends, so here it is. I think one of the biggest albums of the year, at least within the metalcore community, maybe even the EDM community. I'm not entirely sure. This band is ginormous, so it's a big album, I think, for a lot of people. Again, we just got done jamming Electric Callboy's album, TEKKNO. I overall really enjoyed it, man. I thought it was really fun. It's not a perfect album by any means. I didn't expect it to be, but there's a lot that I liked about this album. So let's go ahead and start with the pros, and we'll work our way down as we always do here. Again, my first listen review is always going to be just my first initial thoughts on the album, things I love, things I think they can improve on, top 3 songs, and a score. So let's go and jump right into it here. So pro number 1 is, I knew this was going to be a pro, so I just threw it on there like right away. This album is just pure fun. It's pure joy. Like sometimes, like I feel like for my type of music, at least, you know, with metalcore and other types of music, I usually like my music pretty serious, you know, like I like songs that talk about, you know, mental health and songs that talk about things that we all struggle with here. But then I kind of take a look from the outside looking in, and I think one way to really help mental health is to have fun and to enjoy life and to try to find those things that make you happy. And I thought this album absolutely could help with mental health because it is a lot of fun. Sometimes, like when we think positive in ourselves, like if we can really find that strength to reach in and think positive, like we can feel better about ourselves and feel better about the world around us. And so this album is a lot of fun, and it's pure joy. Like it really is like just a really good, for me, a really good mental health album. So like when I'm feeling down, I can put this on, and hopefully it'll help me feel a little more motivated when I'm feeling depressed or have any sort of anxieties about the world or things coming up in my life. And so honestly, in that aspect, I thought they did a really good job of just keeping this album straight fun and having a lot of joy in here. I actually really think this could be beneficial to people who struggle with depression and anxiety, who need something fun. And I think this album did a really good job of that here. Another thing that I really liked, that I was actually shocked, the riffs on this album are really good. Like this band is like a metalcore EDM like mixture, and the riffs were some of the standouts, man. The more I was listening to them here, like on Mind Reader and Arrow of Love, I really enjoyed it, man. I was like, this is actually really, really sick. I thought for sure we'd only get like some riffs and like just like the main singles, but when they added some of the other riffs in the other songs, they were a lot of fun. I was like, these guys are actually really sick. Like they're not like a one-trick pony, as I like to say. So I thought the riffs on this album were a lot of fun. I will also say as well, my fears of this album were crushed. Again, I was concerned that the main song, all the singles, Pump It, We Got the Moves, F-Boy, Spaceman, and I guess Hurricane, I didn't listen to that before, were going to be the only good songs on the album, because they would bring in so many views just on their videos, and they would bring in a ton of views on reaction channels, myself included. I'm still a smaller channel, and they would bring in thousands of views for me. And so I was really concerned that I was like, man, these are going to be the only good songs on the album, and that is not the case. There is plenty to love on this album that isn't just the singles, which I'm really happy to say. If anything, that's probably the biggest pro of the album. Like, most of the songs on this album I would go back and listen to, and I absolutely enjoyed them here. So my fears were crushed with that here, so I was super happy in regards to that. And honestly, kind of the last thing I added here, I kind of say it a lot with a lot of bands, but the vocals on this were really good. The screaming, I actually prefer the singing on this better than the screaming. I think Neon really showed, I don't know the singer's name, I do apologize, I don't remember it offhand, but he's got a really good voice. I was like, dude, Neon really showed me. I was like, dang, he can actually sing. And then going back to listen to some of the other songs here to kind of figure out my top 3 favorite songs, I was like, dude, Homeboy's got a really good voice, like really good melody, really good tone to his voice. And so not only was it just fun, the singing was good, so many pros to go into this album here. I thought this album was really, really good. It sounds like I was simping pretty hard on the album, but I do have some cons for the album here. Again, it's nothing too crazy, because again, this band is just pure fun and does not really take itself too seriously, and so the cons, I guess, are just kind of what I've noticed when I first listened to it here. Number one, there are a few songs with similar song structures here. A lot of the breakdowns sounded the same, like, especially from, like, We Got the Moves, like this, the boom, boom, like, you know, that breakdown part, I thought was, that breakdown was used a lot throughout the album, like the chuggy breakdown, which again, they aren't, like, you know, to me, it's not that big of a deal, just because again, this band is just so fun and they bring a lot of energy to them here. But there were a few songs that had similar structures here, like Techno Train and Parasite essentially had like the same breakdown at the very end. Like, seriously, go listen to the breakdown and Parasite at the very end, the one on Techno Train. It is super identical to one another. Just, you know, not that it's a big deal, but it did sound kind of a little bit samey here. Again, because of that, some of the songs do become a little bit predictable. You know, the singles obviously are definitely the standouts for sure, but then some of the other songs do have a similar structure to them here, which can be kind of hard to tell which song is which if you're kind of like a first-time listener. If you're well seasoned into it here, you're going to be able to know, but some songs may be a little bit similar to others, which is okay. I mean, not every song on the album has to be perfect for it to get a good score. And then I gotta be honest here, the Hurricane hype, or the how do you say it, Hurricane, I don't know, man, I didn't like that song. I actually am really glad I didn't take time to do a reaction to it. I mean, I love short songs. Like, for me, between 2 minutes and 3 minutes is my favorite, like, it's my favorite length of a song. But this song was like 1.5 minutes, and I didn't really like it that much, to be honest. A lot of people told me that they really like it, that it's gruesome, and that it's really uncomfortable. Dude, I just watched Day Shift a little while ago, and I watched Army of the Dead. Maybe I just caught a little too much shrapnel from the bomb, but I don't get shocked at blood and guts and gore. Maybe that just makes me a morbid person, but like, I love horror movies, and so like, that kind of stuff doesn't really bother me that much. And so I don't know, the hype for that song, while looking at all the thumbnails and people react to it here, I'm like, is this really what people got excited for? I personally, it's actually the weakest song of the album for me here. I'm just saying, they could have cut that song out and I would have been completely fine. And I do not know why it got a music video. I'm not trying to be, you know, that guy, but I'm just saying, it was definitely my least favorite, and I just don't understand the hype for it. Top 3 favorite songs for this album here, I'm really happy to say that 2 of them actually were non-singles, which again, I was worried that the songs, all my top 3 songs would be all the singles. So I'm really glad that 2 of them, as of right now, are non-singles here. But the first one is We Got the Moves, man. I love that song. I wasn't doing reactions at the time that song came out, and if I was, I just missed it. But I love that song, dude. It is so much fun. It's like it's literally everything Electric Callboy does well, with the EDM, the metalcore, everything about it to me is perfect. That's one of my favorite songs I've heard in a while, and I definitely want to play that at my future wedding. Definitely probably play an edited version of it, but I love that song, man. It's so freaking good, dude. So the next one, I really liked Mind Reader, only because like it had a really good riff to it here, really good chorus in that song, and that was the first song that I heard, well, the first song on the album that was a non-single, it was track 5, and that song solidified me going like, okay, at least with this song, I think we're gonna get, like, you know, some good stuff that's not the single. So I was really happy with that song. Super, super fun. And then my other favorite song, probably my favorite, is Arrow of Love. That one, listening to it here, it sounds like it needs like a music video. Like, I just feel like they could do something really clever with that song. That song was perfect. I thought it was so much fun. I absolutely loved it here. The other song I would say that needed a music video is probably Techno Train, like the way that the song is. It sounds like it'd be like a really fun, like sexual version of Cyberpunk 2077, which there is, you know, sexual stuff in that game. But I feel like that song definitely could use a music video, and they could do some really fun stuff with that here. But again, those are my top 3 songs from the album, just my first initial listen. I do plan on listening to this album again. Not all the songs here, but again, just on my first initial listen, those are the top 3 songs that stuck out to me. On my channel, when I compare things here, I love to compare like music to like food. I did like mac and cheese, and I've done some other food as well here. So since it's going to be fall in a couple of weeks, right around my birthday, actually, my birthday is on September 21st, we are going to make a big old pot of electric cowboy soup. Again, it's going to be fall, a lot of soup and crock pots. I'm really excited. At least in my household, that's what we do. So I'm super excited to just enjoy some delicious soup. So let's go ahead and make an electric cowboy soup. So we got the soup right here on this side here. We're going to throw in some metalcore. That's going to be the seasoning. We're going to throw that into the pot right here. We're also going to throw in some EDM. We're going to throw that into the pot right here as well. We're also going to throw in the Lonely Island. So we're going to throw that right in. And then the last ingredient to make a delicious electric cowboy soup, a little bit of Weird Al Yankovic. We're going to throw that in there right now. We're going to stir it all up here. And what do you get? You get TEKKNO by Electric Callboy. Jokes aside, I really enjoyed this album, man. All the things that I mentioned here were definitely influences that I heard. You know, a lot of it just reminded me a lot of Weird Al. Sometimes the singing reminded me of Weird Al a little bit, which is kind of weird, but it reminds me of Weird Al because of kind of the goofiness to it here. Lonely Island because of the goofiness as well, and a little bit of the EDM inspiration that they bring here. This album was a lot of fun. I didn't enjoy every single song. I went back and re-listened to it a couple of songs here. Before I did the review, I listened to, like, you know, Parasite and Techno Train and Huracan again, and those songs didn't really hit with me here, and so those 3 songs I'll probably skip, but everything else I thoroughly enjoyed all the way through, man. I mean, yeah, there are some predictable moments here, but that's not going to matter when you see these guys live, or if you really love this band, you're just going to have a great time. As I said in the beginning, I think fun is a great way to help with depression and mental health, and so I feel like this band is perfect for that here. While, again, I listen to a lot of bands like Wage War, Fit for a King, Currents, Era. We'll always talk about, you know, life, mental health type issues here. Just a couple of examples of bands that I jam on a regular basis here. Again, I sometimes forget, like, having fun can really help me personally here, and I think this album brings a lot of fun. It's not perfect by any means, but it is a lot of fun to jam. A lot of the songs I think are going to hit with people here. Hopefully some of the non-singles hit with people as well, because I really enjoyed a lot of the non-singles here. I'm going to give Electric Callboy TEKKNO an 8 out of 10. Super fun, definitely, again, super hype album in the metal scene, EDM scene. I hope a lot of people enjoyed it like I did here. And again, hopefully one day I can catch these guys live, because again, maybe that'll change my opinion on a few of the songs I wasn't crazy on here. I hope I can catch them live someday. But overall, I really enjoyed the album.